Hey, what is going on, guys? It's LittleBigness here, and I'm bringing you our UPA Season 4 Week 12 battle against Cyberstrike. I meant to have a team builder for this, as well as a live recorded battle, but I actually messed up the audio, and it's my fault, and I feel really bad about it because they were really good recordings. I went really in-depth because this battle meant a lot to me. But let me break it down for you guys. We were both 6-5, and the winner of this battle ended up going to the playoffs, basically. So it was a really important battle to me, and I really needed to win it. And I decided to bring Gigalith, a Spadef Manaphy. Gigalith's my Zardex check, by the way, it's Fizdef. An offensive Shaman with Tailwind, just in case I wanted to mix things up. Mega Gardevoir, Wall Breaking. It was Subcom Mine, but I actually didn't end up using that in the battle. A offensive Arcanine, and a Swellow, which is, you know, the standard Guts attacker. That's the only standard set I brought, the Swellow. And as you can see, he brought Raichu, Conkeldurr, Zardex. That's Zardex, by the way. Gardevoir, Rhyperior, and Gastrodon. I knew he was going to bring I knew he was going to bring Conkeldurr, Zardex, and Gastrodon because he brought them to every single battle. I didn't predict Rhyperior because I had the Manaphy and the Shaman, so I thought it was going to be a weird pick. But then I thought Gardevoir and Raichu could come, but I actually didn't predict them. I actually predicted Mew and Noivern over that. But anyway, we're going to get right into the battle. So he led off with Raichu, and I led off with Sanic. And he goes for Volt Switch on the first play, just trying to get out of there. He probably didn't have anything to hit me too hard. And then he goes into Zard, and I thought I could Earth Power here because I didn't think he'd end up going into Zard since he usually preserves it for late game, but he didn't do that. So I ended up switching on to Gigalith because this is my check. He ends up going for Dragon Dance, and I know this thing can't touch me, so I'm like, I can stay in. I thought about setting up rocks here, but I kind of wanted damage, so I ended up going for EQ. And I got some good damage on Conkeldurr, which I was really happy about that. It was a huge threat to my team. So I go into Arcanine here, just get the Intimidate off on it. He goes for Poison Jab. I'm guessing predicting my Gardevoir. That didn't exactly work out. But then he goes into Zardex after that, and I decided to go for HP Grass, predicting Rhyperior or Gastrodon, but that didn't work out. So I go for the E-Speed and just get damage off on this. He goes for Earthquake. I'm fine with that. Arcanine goes down, which is unfortunate, I guess, but I was fine with it. So now I go into Gigalith, and he ends up switching out again and going into Conkeldurr. I'm just going to keep on clicking Earthquake, but I actually clicked Stealth. I clicked Stealth Rocks there. And he's still predicting my Gardevoir, but I'm saying no. So I keep on Earthquaking, and I thought he'd end up Drain Punching at that point, but he didn't. So he got a Poison Jab Poison, which didn't really matter too much. It actually helped me in the long run. So at this point, I know I can get a Drain Punch down to my Custat Berry range, and I won't end up dying. So I decide to stay in. I go for Earthquake, and now I'm in Custat range, so I can knock out this Conkeldurr. I'm really happy about it. Huge threat to my team. I had no real switch-ins to this, and I knew I had to play around it, but I ended up doing so. My switch-in was an offensive Arcanine, which is really weird. And then he goes Raichu, as I went Manaphy, because I thought he'd go anything but Raichu, but he went Raichu. So I decided to go out to Gardevoir, because I know I could tank any hit from this thing, and I wasn't afraid of a nasty plot, per se. So I get my Mega off, and I click Hyper Voice to knock something out. And Raichu's his choice of sack, so I figured that could make Manaphy a bit more valuable. So he goes Gardevoir after this, and I thought this was going to be a Scarf set at the time. And now he has Pixelate, which is kind of threatening, but I go into my Manaphy, and I see this does way too much, and I find out its choice specs. This thing is pumping out insane damage. Its specs modest, by the way. So I decided to Rain Dance, and I found out that I outsped it, which is weird. I got the Rain Dance up for weakening the Zardex and not making his attack stronger. But since I was here, I figured I'd get my rest off. He keeps on hitting Moonblast. It's doing way too much damage. I'm not happy. So about this time, I decide it's probably a good choice to go into Shaman because I can live one hit from it, but I can't live two. He gets a special attack drop, which was unfortunate, but then he goes Zardex, and I click Seed Flare here, which I guess was a bit of a misplay. I could have clicked Earth Power, but I wasn't really butthurt by it because I just got to go into Swellow, and I got basically a free Facade. And Swellow outspeeds his entire team now that his Gardevoir isn't Choice Scarfed, so I'm really happy about that. He goes Rhyperior, and I know I need to get this thing out of here. So I U-turn out into Manaphy. Sorry, my mouth's really annoying me right now. But yeah, I go into Manaphy, and he clicks Earthquake. Does a good amount. And then right here, I wanted to click Energy Ball just in case the Gastrodon came out, but he had a Rindo Berry. I was shocked by that. That was a really nice play on Cyber's part. And then he goes for Dragon Tail, which didn't really do anything. I guess it could have been a free switch into Gardevoir, but I wouldn't have predicted that. So then I go for Hyper Voice with my Gardevoir, and it outspeeds everything right now, so I'm really happy. I'm hoping I can get enough damage on this Gardevoir, but I know it's bulky since my Manaphy outsped it, so I knew I had to have a lot of bulk investment. So I was able to tank that, unfortunately, but he goes for Moonblast. And I go into Swallow, I outspeed everything. The only way I can lose at this point is if he Recover Stalls me with Gastrodon, or if he has Ice Beam on Gastrodon. And he kind of made a choke here because he had Recover, and he went for Scald. So Cyber kind of choked in the end, but it's a victory for me. It sucks for him. I'm not going to complain. But he choked, you know? So whatever though, I'm happy I won it. This is playoffs for me, and it really sucks for him since this kind of knocked him out of playoffs. He still does have a chance, provided I lose next week. But I have a lot better of a chance than he does, because it might come down to differential if I lose. But I most likely had that number 6 spot, and I could go up, provided certain things happen. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'm sorry it couldn't be live recorded. I was going insane after the live recording. And sorry I kind of hit my headphone jack there and kind of made it flail around. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace!